Good morning, Trideep. Thank you for joining in today's interview session. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I am good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm also good. Thank you for asking. So, Trideep, before we proceed, can you give a brief introduction about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for giving this opportunity. I'm Dilip Roy. I'm basically from Bhilai, Chhattisgarh. I'm married. I am having two kids. Uh, I completed my graduation in commerce and also I have done my diploma in then I came to Pune to do further studies. I have completed few courses like Oracle, SQL, software testing, web designing, and I started my journey, professional journey, in the year 1999 in a data processing company uh, where I joined as a quality analyst, and then gradually I promoted to various shift, like as a vendor manager, shift in charge, project in charge. I almost completed my 7 years over there in various departments. Then due to some personal reason, I left that job and joined another company where I worked for 6 years. In that company, I joined as a HR and admin executive, where I have to check the task, do the task for US HR as well as India HR. And then I promoted as a IT coordinator, where I used to check, like I have to take care of the IT department. Uh, Day-to-day task and to maintain the SLAs and arrange the meetings with our VP who are in US, and also doing the software testing, whatever software they are built up in. Also maintain the web design, web pages. I used to do the maintenance of web pages and also check the sites, whatever sites the company has on daily basis. And then they wind up the uh, process in India and outsource all the processes. So I left that job. And almost for 5 years, I take rest due to some personal reason. I have to take care of my kids, and as my wife is also working. So I used to stay at home. Then again, I joined Amazon in 2017, and till that I'm working over there. And that's all from my end.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing your journey. So, I would like to know overall how many years of experience do you have?
In total, I am having 20 plus years.
20
in
plus
data.
years of experience, right? So, so you have portrayed that you have a vast experience and the journey had been great, I think, so far. So, I would like to know that how many years have you spent working on SQL?
Relevant experience, I can say it's about 2.5 years of experience, because in my first company, almost 5 to 6 months I have worked as a not worked as a when I was in shift in charge. That time one of the project is going on in Oracle, like back end and front end in Oracle. So it's a data processing task only, but the software is in Oracle. So it's happened like sometimes they are getting some issues. So I know the SQL, so I run some SQL procedures and retrieve the data. So whenever they are facing some issues, and give it to the programmers that these are the challenges we are facing, we are not able to enter. So that time I used to do that. And then in my second company where I was doing IT coordinator, I normally runs the weekly data and some SQL procedures and yeah, like work with the software developers. So I, in overall, I can say it's 2.5 of experience.
Okay, that's great. So, if I have to ask you to rate yourself about out of 5, how much will you rate yourself in SQL? Sorry?
3.5.
3.5. Okay. So, Trideep, can you please test your mic? Is it selected your earphone or it is still in the default laptop? Because sometimes the voice is not coming properly. Right, the audio is better now.
Thank you.
So Trideep, today we will judge you on your SQL skill set. Since you have given yourself a rating of 3.5, based on that rating, we are going to ask you a few questions related to SQL.
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
Right. Can you explain what are the different subsets of SQL?
Different subsets of SQLs. Yeah, there are 4 different subsets of SQL. It's a DDL, data definition language, DML, data manipulation language, DCL, data control language, and TCL, control language, transaction control language. In DDL, data definition, we use statement used for create, alter, truncate, and in DML is a statement used for retrieve the data, modify the data, or insert the data. And in DCL, we use to control the data to grant the permission or revoke the permissions. And in TCL, we used the statement to manage the task which done by DML.
Great. So what do you mean by table and field in SQL?
Table is a combination of data in which in a organized manner we store as a columns and rows, and the field is it's a column which in the table.
Okay. So I believe you have worked with constraints as well, right?
Yeah, sure.
So can you tell what is a constraint and what are its different types?
Yes, constraints are used to restrict the data. There are there are many types of constraints like primary key constraint, not null constraint, check constraint, foreign key constraint, unique constraint, default constraint.
Okay,
yeah.
Right. So can you share your screen, open SQL Server, and create any one of the constraint that you mentioned?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, please.
Are you able to see my screen?
Not yet.
Yeah, just
you need to share.
Yes, are you able to see that?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay.
So which constraint you are going to show, and then you can start.
I will show primary key constraint.
Okay. So what does a primary key constraint do? At first explain, and then you can start.
Okay. So primary key constraint is used to identify, uniquely identify the each and every rows in the table.
Okay. We can't see any movement on the screen.
Yes, sorry. Uh,
Yeah, if you're not able to recall, then we can proceed with the next
yeah,
question.
sure, because yes, sure.
It's fine. It's fine. You can stop sharing your screen now if you want.
Okay, can you tell me what are the clauses in SQL Server?
Yeah, at first you can stop sharing your screen, Sudeep,
Yeah,
and
you
then
can
we
stop.
can proceed, I guess. Yeah. Yes, please. Yeah.
We have two type of clauses, where clause and having clauses.
Okay. And what is group by? Where do you we use group by?
Group by clause when we need to retrieve sub a set of sorry, actually.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, it's
It's
fine.
absolutely okay if you're not able to recall. That's okay. So what is the difference between having and where clause?
Yeah, where clause is used for row data, where we can use that where clause for select, insert, or delete function. Where having clause we use for group by aggregation only. We can use that having clause in select statement only.
Okay. What is the subquery?
Subquery is a query where we write the query inside the SQL statement.
So, Sudeep, do you have any example where you can show us how a subquery is written? If I ask you to share your screen and write a subquery, will you be able to do that? If you are not able to recall, it's fine. Okay. You do not have to take stress.
Actually, I am just.
It's fine. No problem. So we can move on to the next question.
Yeah, sure.
So, can you explain what is the difference between a primary key and a foreign key?
Primary key used to identify the uniquely identify the identify each and every row, whereas foreign key is linked is a foreign key is a constraint to link to different tables. A foreign key from one table is linked to another primary key to the another table.
So can foreign key a combination of multiple fields?
Multiple fields.
Combination of multiple fields or columns.
Yes, we can set foreign key for different columns.
Okay. So in any of your project, can you give an example wherein you might have done this, or any example of foreign key you would like to share with an example?
Yeah, when like for some table, we just create table for employee, and we take the department ID in one table, and then the details of that particular department we create another table. So we link those two tables when we retrieve the data. So when at that time we use the foreign keys to link those both the tables to retrieve the data from both of them.
Great. Can you tell me what is the auto increment?
Automate, it's a when we create when we create a table and we don't want to insert the IDs again and again manually, so we use identity so that it will automatically create the record when we creating the table.
Do you know system based function? What are the function? Do you know?
Functions are system-based functions. Yes, there are so many functions. Like R trim, left trim, or upper, or
Okay, great. Okay, what is upper function?
it when it whatever string we are provided, it will convert into uppercase.
Okay, and do you know what callset function does?
Yeah, it's retrieve the first not null uh, field from the.
Okay, what is the work of alias? Why
It's a
do we use
temporary
it?
name we are giving to a particular field when we enter the data. It's a temporary name we are giving to that particular column.
Okay, what is the difference between cluster index and non-cluster index?
Cluster index are we use that to retrieve the data quickly, and there should be one cluster index in a table, whereas non-cluster we can create more than one, and cluster. Yes, cluster index are to retrieve the data more quickly.
Great. But what is the difference? Now you just told me that non-cluster index we can use only once in a table, right?
Right. No, cluster index. We can
Cluster index
yes, we can
Okay,
use
great.
only one, and
And non-cluster
non-cluster
index
we can use them more than
multiple.
multiple
Fine,
times.
fine. Okay. Where do we use wildcard in SQL?
Wildcard.
Yeah.
We can use the wildcards in a statement when we like retrieve the data, whether it is equal to or not equal to.
Okay. So can you show me example? Can you share your SQL server and show us one example that how you will use wildcard?
Wildcard. Okay.
Yeah. Sure. First open the table.
Yes.
Yeah. I will give you one hint. Wildcard, you can use it on character like if name, job, and With what operator you will use wildcard? What are the operators there, and which you will use?
Can you again come with the question?
Which operator you will use with
Okay.
wildcard? In between, like what operator you will use? Equal to. Like operator or in operator?
In operator I will use.
Okay. No problem. Okay, just show us the approach, then we'll judge. Just complete this query, whatever you are writing.
Sorry,
Okay.
actually, it's
No problem. If you stuck, you can, tell us. Okay. So can you tell me which operator you will use? Suppose there is a department ID. I want to
okay.
fetch the data of department ID 30, 10, and 20.
Okay.
$30, $20, and 10.
So I have to
Check it.
the mouse is not working properly.
Okay, no issues. Tell me what difference between and or, where you will use and where you will use and operator.
And an or.
Right.
Yeah, and when we have to retrieve the data, like it should be a match with both the statement and for or it's either of them should match.
Okay. So can you tell me how you can retrieve alternate data from
Yes.
this EMP?
Can I complete this one because the table, the valid column name was wrong. So
Table
this
name
thing-
is right.
no, column name is
Right.
wrong.
But
It's-
operator which you are using should not be is equal to. My question was, you have to
okay.
retrieve the data.
30 and 40 department name, right?
Right. So I will give you one hint. You need to use in operator instead of is equal to.
No, it's okay. I've
Okay.
we'll go to next one because totally, I guess.
No issues. I will ask you the next question. What is difference between stub and replace function?
Stub will replace the whatever character we want to replace from starting point to end point. That will replace into that particular string. Whereas replace, we can replace the old. You say replaced, right? Stuff and replace.
Can you please stop sharing your screen? Okay. Okay, good. Can you tell me how can we change the data type?
We can modify data type like the syntax as alter table, table name, and then alter column, the particular uh, column name and into a data type. We can
Okay.
do that.
Do you have idea about view?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you give
It's
me example where we use view?
view. It's a temporary table. Like whenever we want to, we create the view to like if I have some a statement and we want to view it afterwards, so we can create a view and then put the statement into the view, and we can recollect it, execute that view so that we can uh, view that particular statement again and again. It's a temporary table where we store the data.
Okay. What is the difference between truncate and drop?
Truncate drop used to drop the whole database, where truncate we used to delete all the rows at a time.
Great. Subhadeep sir, do you have anything to ask?
Right. So I have few questions to ask as well.
Okay.
Are you aware of local and global variables?
Local and global.
Mhm.
Sorry, I passed this.
Okay, no problem. So I'll give you a very simple query to write. Okay. And you need to share your screen and write that query.
Okay.
So I believe that you have two tables that is there in the system, or how many tables you have? Okay, there are many tables. Okay, so can you write a SQL query to fetch common records from two tables that you have? So at first, show all the data that is present in, suppose, say, TBL employee 2 table that you have. Okay.
Yes.
So what is TBL salary and TBL salary 2 that you have in your system? Show me that. Yeah. Write another query related just below that. Yeah. You can copy and paste and just change 2 at the end.
Yes. No, the mouse is not working properly. So
Okay, you can use keyboard as well. No problem. Now run both the queries together. Let me check. Okay. Okay, all the fields are common. Okay, there. Scroll down a bit. Okay. Okay, not all the fields are common. Good. This will be a good example. Now you need to write a query wherein you need to fetch only the common records from the two tables.
okay.
Right? Yeah. So before executing, explain me what you are trying to do so that I can understand the logic and your approach as well, what you want to achieve.
I'm sorry, actually, totally.
No, you're doing correct. Means okay, not a problem. You can stop sharing.
Basically, I am trying to fetch both the data, like
Yeah.
common data from both the tables where field name are F names are same.
So
To put the
okay,
inner
so your
join.
approach is correct. Fine. Inner join, right?
Yes, right.
But what join have you written?
It's only join.
What does join stand for? What is by default?
It will get inner join only
Correct.
by default.
So once you do that, what will happen? There is some issues with the syntax, I guess, right? And we try to place the join on, it should be our approach to place the join on the primary key, on the foreign key, rather than any other different fields, right?
Yes, right.
But you have put it on F name. So F name is your primary key.
No, no, that's not the primary. That's the reason I little confused. Both are same. Okay. ID 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, 3D not a
No,
problem.
actually,
It's fine.
yes.
It's fine. It's okay. We will discuss all this during the feedback sessions. Don't worry.
Right.
Okay, Trideep, with this, we come to the end of today's interview session. Do you have any question to any one of us?
No, it's
All's good, right?
yes, I'll go.
Great. So thank you for joining in once again. We'll meet very soon on our feedback session.
Yeah, thank you. Sure.